Hello fishing friends, this is Matthew with Outfishing 13 bringing you another reel service video for Zebco reels. Today I'm going to be working on a vintage Prostaff 2020. So make sure if you enjoy this video to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. Okay, here's the reel I'm going to work on. I got these three Prostaffs recently from a Facebook page called Zebco Shop and Swap. So often guys are getting on that Facebook page and buying and selling and Zebco gear. So it's a great place, and I want to thank Steve for sending these to me. Two of them are in really good shape. This one is in good shape, but let me show you what's going on with it. I'm going to set these aside. This is the one I'm going to be working on. It's kind of this chrome-plated or nickel-plated plastic, and most of it is in really good shape, except for down here on the foot. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. I may just take off what is peeling back and not worry about it, because this is just going to be a reel that I'm going to use from time to time, not really a collector's piece. But these Zebco 2020s were really nice top-of-the-line reels back in their day. This is a made in USA model. So let's get started. Like any of my videos I have, you're going to need a couple of simple tools. A couple of screwdrivers, a big one and a small one, flat screwdrivers, a pair of needle nose pliers, maybe a big pair of pliers, maybe a small wrench for removing the nut. You're going to need some grease. I just put mine in these little tubs here. I got some tri-flow grease for lightweight grease, and then some really good Lucas red grease that's sticky stuff. You can also use any type of good reel lube, like this Abu Garcia Silicote reel lube. You'll also want some lightweight grease, and I like hot sauce. I've just kept using the bottle, but I put some good high quality sewing machine oil in here that I had. So that's what you'll need, the basic tools to get started. So let's get started on this and see what's going on with it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little tab off of here and save it. I can tell that the reel is kind of stiff here, and this right here is the drag adjustment is really stiff. So I know that things are not necessarily rusted up in here, they're just gummed up with old oil. So one of the things I like to use is WD-40 to loosen things up as I get taking them apart. I never use things like some kind of electrical cleaner or brake cleaner. It's just too harsh of a chemical to really, because it can dissolve plastic. So to start off with, you want to remove the cap. These ones all screw off like so. You might want to push the button in to get the pickup pins down. Let's inspect this. One of the first things I noticed with this old vintage reel is it has a crack here in the rubber brake, the line stop. And I may need to go ahead and replace this. And I can dent my fingernail in here and kind of scrape away, so I know that this is pretty old and brittle. I'm probably going to have to replace it. The pickup pin sticks really far out, which is good, and so I know that it's going to pick up nicely. To take the cap off, you just need to hold the handle and unscrew it. We'll set that aside. We want to take this off, so this just has a retaining clip here. Just use your screwdriver and take that off. It's got a stainless steel washer and then a plastic drag washer. We can take that off. And then we got a keyed drag washer here, another plastic drag washer. So you can see just how discolored the grease and oil is on here. It's starting to turn into something like shellac. And that's probably what's gumming everything else up. Okay, and then here's the drag adjustment. notice how it goes. It's a very simple system, but very effective. Basically, it has a ramp here, and when this screws in and out, this moves back and forth and pushes up on that ramp and pushes against the drag to tighten it up or loosen it. And again, you can see just how discolored that oil is. It's turned into sticky stuff. That's all we need to do on that side. Let's take the rest of it apart. So this one, it just slides off here. We'll probably clean the inside out of this out. Okay, now we need to take the handle off and disassemble the rest of this. Okay, using my nut driver, I'm going to take this stainless steel nut off of here. And take the handle off. Okay. Well, this thing is really, really stiff. Let's take this out. Okay. Inspecting that, everything is in really good shape. This is the brass pinion. Okay, next is to take this drag apart. Okay, as you can see, I've got to really turn this hard, and I don't want to damage it, so I'm going to take some WD-40. I'm going to put on here and start to loosen this up. I can take this gear out, but I want to loosen things up here so I can get this all apart. I want to just take and loosen this shaft up here and take it out. It's pretty sticky. And I put some WD on there to start soaking on there. Oh, that's already freeing it up quite a bit. There's anti-reverse. It goes down in there just like that. And that needs to come out because it's pretty sticky, but basically it sits in there like that. It's a lot like a 202 anti-reverse. Okay. To get this out, there's a little retaining clip right there that needs to come out. I don't know if you can see that, but right there is a retaining clip. So we need to take that retaining clip out. So what you need to do is turn it over so that you can get at it, and then reach down there with a small screwdriver. There we go. There's the retaining clip. Now we should be able to unscrew this and take it out. There we go. And then we can take this piece out here. Okay. Notice how it goes in. It can go in either way, but I'm probably going to put it back in the same way. So to look at this, it's got a little thing with 3 little dots right there, and the 3 little dots went in that direction towards the center. Okay, let's clean this up and get it all washed off and back together and get all this gummy stuff. But you can see there's like old dried up grease here. Look at that. So we're going to get all that off. Okay, here's the anti-reverse actuator right here. When this goes on, you can see it has a little tab that bends to the inside. See that? Bends to the inside. If these are not working properly, what you can do is take it off, and it's supposed to have some friction on there, and you can squeeze it together and put it back on if it's not working properly. Okay? See, this is just going to break on me. But we'll finish it up, and then I'll come back and repair that later. These drag washers are exactly the same, the 2 stainless ones and the 2 plastic ones, so they don't have to go back in any particular order. Okay, I got that all cleaned up with soap and water. It looks great. I just need to dry off a little bit here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this back together, going in the reverse order that we put it together. Now the first thing that we need to make sure we do is put this on here, because we're going to put this piece back together. So we want a little bit of lube in here. We want a little bit of lube on here. There's 3 little dots there that goes towards the center. So what we need to do is we need to take and push this up from below, push this in, and then spin it on a little bit, and then we need to take and put the retaining clip in there. Take your screwdriver, just like that. Okay, and that's working perfectly. We need to put this back together in there along with the anti-reverse. So here's the anti-reverse actuator, and we just want to put a little bit of lube right here. And the little tab goes down, so we'll just put that back on here like so. Now remember, if this is really loose, what you need to do is just kind of squeeze those 2 little tabs together so that they have some friction. That's just the way that they work. Okay? And then this little piece goes just like this, and then this will go in there like so. Actually, it's like this, and then the anti-reverse fits in there like that. So it goes like that. So to help put this back together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of grease on it and set it down in this. There's a little slot right there that it needs to go into. So I'm just going to use a little bit of grease to put in that slot and against there to hold this in. Just like that. See that? Okay. Now I want to take and grease this up with some of my good red grease. And then look where that is, and we'll make sure when it goes back together that that little anti-reverse actuator goes into the anti-reverse pawl. Just like that. All right. Okay, and then we're ready to put the center shaft in. We'll put some good red grease on this, and then we're going to put some oil on this shaft here, because every time you cast, this moves back and forth, so we want some oil in there. Okay, we want a little bit of grease on the main shaft here. And slip this in here. I'm going to screw this one all the way out so the drag is all the way loose. Right there. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of grease right on this thing right there. Just a little bit. That will slide that back and forth there. That goes there, and I'm going to put a little bit of grease on here. A light coating is all that's needed. And then a stainless steel washer. Now it has keyways in it, and it just slides down the grooves like that. Some grease, a washer, some grease. And now we want to grease the whole shaft. And then this has ridges here that are the clicker part, so make sure that this rigid part goes down. This one actually looks like it could go on either way. But if you don't put it on the right way, you won't have clickers when the drag goes out. So put that on there. Some grease here. Drag washer. Some grease. Stainless washer. Top of here. And then we'll put on this retaining clip. Okay, that's done. We want to put some grease down in here. And a little drop of oil on this hinge. And we can put the cap back on. Okay, then we can put the handle on. And then take this, put the cone on. Okay, there it is all back together. Now much smoother. That works great. Drag works good. Okay, so there's how to service a Zebco Vintage 2020 Prostaff. Nice reel, I really like these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this stuff here. I may take and try to carefully take it off, and then maybe take the frame apart and tape everything off and take some silver paint and paint over it, or I may just take it off and not worry about it. It's got some that is peeling right here. So I went ahead and repaired this spinner cone, and if you want to see how I did this on an Omega 154 undercast or spin cast reel, and basically I used a rubber grommet, a large rubber grommet from the hardware store, and I had to sand it down using my belt sander to get it to have the right profile. If you can see that, see it has that profile and the correct thickness. And then after I got it glued on with rubber cement, I had to put it on here and basically try it out. To make sure that the line could come out, and I could also apply the line brake. But if you want to see how I did that, so that reel is good to go. And if you want to see how I did that, I'll put a video in the description below, a link to that video. But the line brake works good now, and the line comes out without any problem. But here's all the pieces I took out. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by pushing on the button right over there. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.